Hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and it's my birthday, so anything could happen. Hello. Oh, these amazing people have agreed to join me tonight. They've been around forever. I've been around forever. So this is perfect. Let's just do this very quickly around the table. Sarah, thank you for joining us. Tell us about all the things you can't do. You can't tell us about.
That's literally almost
First,
everything
you have to
now.
unmute yourself.
Oh, am I muted?
No.
Your mic.
No.
I think not. You're not in Zoom. You're not muted in Zoom.
Can
I'm muted
you guys
in
hear
Zoom.
me?
Wrong mic
I
in
hear
Zoom, perhaps?
Sarah fine.
Oh wait, only Kevin can't hear me.
Still can't hear
Twitch is
you.
even saying they can hear Sarah.
It's just you,
They
Kevin.
can hear you.
It's just Kevin, man. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
One brief moment.
Even the stream
Just
can
me.
hear
Just
I
I
us.
can't
somehow
hear you.
just
Bullshit.
Kevin.
Okay, keep talking. I'll figure this out.
Okay.
Just Kevin.
Happy Death Day.
Happy Death.
Thank you.
Take your time to breathe,
That wasn't me.
Sam.
That wasn't me. That was
Take
Kyle.
your time to breathe.
My lord, I just wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that.
Victory.
Yes. Yeah. This is why I can't watch chat because they break me.
I haven't deafened anybody. I could hear you like just before we started. I could hear you, and now I can't hear you. This is ridiculous.
At all?
Oh, hey,
Kevin
look.
Joker.
Hey, you know what? You know what works? When you plug the mic all the way in. Apparently, when I leaned forward to hit the button, I unplugged the mic. Look at me go. A new low. That wasn't even a tech fail. That was like a hardware fail. That's a ta-da birthday. Okay. Well, you've had tons of time to introduce yourself. I hope it went well.
She didn't.
I was laughing
You didn't.
so hard.
Of course
I
not.
just threw up the links. I don't.
Okay. Many links.
my
Many things you
hair.
can't talk about. Oh, God. Yay. Okay, it started now. Here we go. Oh, slow clap. Yeah, good. Oh, good. Yeah, I deserve that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, oh, you're
It's
God
not
indeed.
a stream until there's scuff.
And now there's stuff. Whose birthday is my birthday? Can't you tell? I'm the one that's so messed up I apparently can't even make sound work. So let's move on. Wayward Night. When you're not
It's
here doing
me.
stuff, what are you doing other places?
Oh god, I'm doing so many things. Like forgetting to have all of my shit ready.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm good at that.
And
Just
also
unplug your mic. It distracts everybody from everything else.
I am a Detroit-based actor and artist, and I act and I art.
You
And
act and you
I-
art all over the
I
place.
play a lot of games here on Dirty 20 Gaming, and I'm also very active on the Discord. You should join our Discord. Also,
You should.
here's my link to my shop if you want to buy things. Please support your local artists. Thank you.
You managed to say that in one breath.
One
I'm
breath,
impressed.
yes. She's
I do.
now doing the magic actor thing where she's breathing through her ears so we don't see her panting. She got it all out in one breath. Oh wow, Nick. What are you up to?
Oh, what am I up to? I'm up to whatever we're about to do tonight. Well, I'm also up to is playing Professor Everfull on Sarah's campaign that she's DMing here on Thursdays.
Excellent.
We're not in trouble at all. Don't worry about it. Tonight's a fun night of boats, and problems happen not tonight.
Yes. Well, different problems. Not your problem after
What
tonight.
else am I doing?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just around on the Discord. Come in and say hi. We're nice people.
Jokes, it's
We really
not
are.
a game stream. It is just showing pictures of boats.
That's it. It's actually the Sydney Harbor Boat Show. I got a sponsor from Australia. That way nobody watches. Next, Hellhounds 20.
Hello.
Hello. What are you up to?
Bringing back my D&D games because of scheduling. I'm a PNG tuber. I'm an artist. I'm a gamer, dungeon master. I am tired. There's my links.
There
And
you
I'm
go.
keeping an eye on chat as per usual.
Oh, thank you. And a happy kind of tired, I hope.
Oh yeah, happy kind of tired.
And speaking of a happy kind of tired from playing lots of games, Bison_Stonefist, you're up. What are you doing?
What I'm doing stuff. On Wednesdays, I play Linus Longshadow. I forgot his last name for a second. On our Wednesday night game, A Deeper Delve, which is a very non-standard Lost Mine of Foundelver run. On Saturdays, I am Feedback on Harlequin Redux. And on Sundays, or at least for one more Sunday, I am Mr. Box. And Mr. Box is awesome. Dark Side of the Dodecahedron. If you haven't watched it, check it out in the YouTube. And oh yeah, I do my own stuff on Tuesdays. I play games.
And you inspire chat. Oh wow! Thank you, gifted subs all over the place. Yay! Thank you.
We have a YouTube.
So with that, and there's a YouTube link, and look at that. And there's stuff. People are taking care of me today because I'm old. You guys are awesome, by the way. That's why I'm doing this. I said to myself, Self, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to run a game. And I said, but you do that all the time. And I said, shut up. You asked me what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And so I'm going to do it. And so we're doing that.
Also, you're not old. You're younger than my parents.
Oh, that helps. Oh, that helps immensely. Ouch.
I can't tell. That.
I am not worried about how old I am. So let's do this. The five of you all know Terry, but none of you know each other. And it is, for the purposes of this game, 1966. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is, in fact, New Year's Eve. It is about to be 1967. And Terry has invited five of you to spend the week on their yacht, way off the coast of Australia. It must be pointed out that none of you know what Terry does for a living, but each of you, in your own way, would benefit if Terry died. With that, it's been a lovely 3 days in the South Pacific. Calm weather, swimming and fishing. Oh, thank you. Swimming and fishing for those that want to. There was even a shark cage and diving equipment on the back.
Hell yeah.
This yacht is a piece of work. It is brand new. Then yesterday afternoon, you remember preparing that exquisite dinner that you all enjoyed last night, and you remember eating it, watching the sunset through the distant haze-colored sky. The whole western reaches of the ocean lit red by the sunset. Then, nothing. Black void. Maybe that explains your dry mouth, your lips that almost need to be peeled apart, the eyeballs that scratch as they open, dry nostrils, and a brain that feels like it shrunk 2 sizes and is rattling around in your skull. Every muscle in your body feels strained. You're fully dressed, but not in the clothes you were wearing yesterday. Who do you think would move first?
I come to attention very quickly.
Oh no.
Someone has decided to get drop on Cheap, and Cheap does not appreciate such unkindnesses.
I hate to say it, Sans, but you're screwed.
I know.
think Sans knows that.
I know. I'm gonna try.
Sharkula, Ouija shark, Sharkula, Sharktopus. Oh, Sharktopus. Oh,
What they will tell you is the
Shanktopus.
sharks were very happy until they entered the water.
Shanktopus.
It's a Shanktopus. It's a shark so badass it carries a knife.
Yeah, they're called teeth.
You're not that far off from the actual movie. Anyway.
So, Cheap. Yeah, Cheap. You snap to attention. You are you've been on the ship for a couple days now. You're in these sort of bunk rooms. They're quite small. This whole ship is quite small because it's designed to be run by 1 or 2 people. There's no crew, just you guys. But you wake up with sort of your feet at the door, as you can see. And out in the hallway, the first thing as you snap up is you see blood on the floor. Give you sort of one action before we get to everybody else.
I'm going to peek my head into a hallway to see what direction the blood might be going.
All right, so you just sort of move to there. It starts out here, which I'll talk about in a minute, and comes down here and goes through this door into that room, and gets thicker as it goes that way. Yeah, somebody crawled down here. They were bleeding really badly, and it was getting worse and worse and worse as they went along. And then they went into that room, which you know is Benny's stateroom.
Terry's state.
Terry's, sorry, wrong game. Terry's stateroom. Thank you. As you stand there, clearly visible in the door of your little room, the other four. How do you
You said
respond
we
to
were
it?
not in the clothes we were in when we arrived. What are we currently in?
You're in sort of evening attire. This is you would have brought several sets of each, even though you're on a boat. You would have dressed sort of for the evening. You're dressed in that, which looks weird because it's kind of breakfast.
I see.
I'm gonna wait till everybody's up before I give you the whole rest of the description. But yes, the rest of you sort of come awake and poke your heads out of your individual cubicles to see the blood stain down the hall and Cheap standing there looking at it and right across the hall to Terry's door.
What the fucking shit, eh?
What
Oh
did
my
you
god.
do?
It would appear someone was injured and made their way into Terry's stateroom.
I would like to investigate this immediately.
Okay, you start to move forward. Dedra, what are you doing?
Dedra's gonna eventually hear the noise. It's gonna be a while, unfortunately. When she does, she'll kind of stumble out. That was fun.
Doing that, trying to pretend you're not hungover thing.
That one might
Yep.
still be on drugs.
And Jim, you swore, but you didn't mention getting up, so I'm gonna give you a chance to. What would you like to do?
Yeah. When Jim sort of stumbles out of bed, kind of like, oh, I knew I should have stopped after that 9th beer, eh? Oh, kind of makes his way to the door, sees the blood. OSHA's gonna be so pissed. Okay,
OSHA on the ocean.
I
yeah,
don't believe OSHA
like
is in Australia.
OSHA in A.
OSHA has
so-
no jurisdiction here, hon.
Right, I'm not in Canada anymore. Okay, so where the hell's Terry? He still owes me money.
I mean, Terry's room potentially has a body in it.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna take out a little flask.
Yep.
Take a swig.
Yep.
And then put it back. It's a hip or it's a like a garter flask.
Yep. Fair enough. Yeah.
Because tequila is like stereotypical go-go girl.
Okay. Yeah.
So she puts her flask away, and then she's gonna take out a knife from her boot,
Mhm.
and then she's gonna go into Terry's room.
Okay. Abigail, what is your response to all of this?
So Abigail gets up. They are obnoxiously perky. And they stretch.
Across
They
the
get
hall.
up, they go over to their closet, they open it. There is like a dozen of the exact same dress. But they're like there's only two colors. There's blue and there's white, and then there's the one she's currently wearing, which is blue with white maple leaves.
Okay. Yeah.
Blue, white, blue and white.
Yep.
And then there's white and blue.
Yeah. Both kinds.
But they're all the
Blue and
exact
white
same.
and white blue.
She slips them on, goes over to her bedside drawer, opens it. She pulls out something, eats it, and then she immediately just perks up even more.
Opposite of Valium. Is that cocaine?
But as she is heading towards the door, we can see that on like tucked underneath the bed is a purse with a
Mhm.
little wire sticking out. But she slides open the door, leans out. Expression doesn't change. Huh. Well, something happened out here.
You can't hear the engines at all. None of you. There's no fans blowing. There's no hum and thrum from the propellers. The ship is floating dead in the water. Like your rooms and most of this ship, the hallway that you're sort of in here is lined with hand polished exotic woods, all dark lacquered and tight grained paneling. The wood making up the floor and the ceiling is almost black and nearly grainless. It's hot and humid and exposed to open sea air. The hatches, forward and stern, are both jammed open, even though they're designed to dog shut by default. There is that stream of blood that runs down the hall and into Terry's room. Other than that, it's going to take some looking around to see what's going on. So I know we got one investigator who's just mad crazy to start investigating. What area of the ship would you like to investigate?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna follow the blood to
Okay.
hopefully its source.
Yep. So if you go north from where you are by 3 spaces, and it sort of fades out,
Okay.
you can actually see the footprints where the person was standing.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a splash there. It looks like they were there for a couple seconds. Give us an investigation roll. That's what you get for free.
Cool.
So
Where's
3d6.
my- Yeah. Is it just test? I think.
No, advantage for 3.
Oh, advantage.
Disadvantage is 1, test is 2, advantage is 3. There you go, 6. Yeah, they were standing right here. They got hit. They stood there for a second while they bled, then they fell to their hands and knees and crawled down the hall, bleeding more and more and more and more as they went, and into their room. You're stunned that they made it that far. There's a ton of blood on the floor.
Okay. So I'm gonna follow it into the room.
Mm-hmm. You guys get to the door, and who else is going?
I am interested in who might be inside of Terry's room.
The 4 of you are all stuffed in this narrow little passageway in the boat, looking through the window, or looking through the door as Tequila steps into the room. This room, we'll describe the room first. This is a 1966 single man's yacht bedroom. It's bad. It's like purple shag carpet on the walls, massive wall mirrors made up of carefully cut segments that make it look like it was broken. There's a record player, an 8-track tape player. There's even a tiny disco ball in the corner.
Good.
A king-size captain's bed covered by royal purple sheets and gold tassels at the feet, glued to the thick green shag carpet by their own congealed blood, lies Terry. His clothes are shredded, and he lies face down.
You say
For
shredded.
just a split second, yes. I'm going to go around the room. Okay, so shredded. So that means you're in the room. Okay, yep. Yeah, they are.
I may have.
Yeah, give me an investigation. Yeah.
Okay.
Investigation-y kind of a roll. If you're qualified in that way, give me 3. Otherwise, give me 2.
Investigation is not the forte of mine.
No. Dance party, however.
Oh
But
shit.
I do have experience
Double
with
fives, however.
shredding things.
So yes.
Pretty crit.
Yeah. So you start poking around in this room. Did you have any specific questions before I start giving you evidence? You asked about the clothes. Never mind. I'll start with that.
I'm most interested in what I believe may have shredded these clothes. I have
Okay.
experience with such things.
You do actually. Terry's clothes are shredded, ripped, torn, and the little bits that are left, and I mean little bits, like a little bit around the waist of the pants and the cuffs and collars, and that's about all that's really left. And even that's all blasted full of little tiny holes.
Tiny holes.
There's
And it
also,
appears that the
Yeah.
you're good.
uh,
The rips are towards the inside, or just
It-
generally just kind of shredded.
You got 2 successes. It looks like they were standing there, and whatever did this, whatever blew, it's clear that the clothes were blown off of them, but it came this way.
Well, that way interesting.
You also realize while you're there that Benny's body is
Terry.
mess.
Terry.
Terry.
Terry, you have seen better
Terry,
days.
Terry, I even changed it on the sheet here. Terry's body is a mess. He appears to have 4 different life-ending injuries. There's a small round hole right in the center of his forehead and a gaping exit wound at the back. There's multiple stab wounds to the throat area, deep, jagged, and vicious. There's a dried green foam around his lips and nose, and a purpleness to that area that makes you think maybe he's been poisoned. And there's a deep, deep bruise around his throat.
You guys hear
So
from the hall.
somebody shot,
he
poisoned,
dead?
and stabbed and hanged Terry.
Sounds
Hanging
like a
seems
bit of
little
overkill.
excessive.
It looks like once he got in this room, he pulled 2 bar stools down on the way over to where he was, where he's crawled to. And 3 successes. Yeah. Tequila, we're gonna say you step back and look down, and you see that, and on the base of one of them, there's a reflection, and you see there's his necklace. It's a gold necklace with an eagle, a gold eagle on it. That's broken off and stuck to the bottom of the knocked over bar stool.
I'm gonna take that.
Okay.
Because it might help me in the future.
So it was not for robbery until now. Understood.
Until now.
As you-
Until now.
As you pick that up, Tequila, you have there's no other word for it. You have a flashback. So maybe it's touching it. Maybe it's just bending over and the blood rushing to your head. Maybe it's your body trying to tell you to throw up or die. Whatever it is, there's kind of a moment, and you remember seeing Terry crawling across the deck towards you, laughing and crying at the same time. He stops and is violently sick on the deck. Then he looks at you again, kind of giggles, and turns into a toad. It blinks its left eye, it licks its right eye, and then it disappears. How do you respond to that?
All right. So, interesting things clearly happened on this boat. And I am going to get to the bottom of them because I want to know as much as possible. Who's in?
We have choice. We are stranded on boat in the middle of water.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you always have a choice. You could just sit and wait to be rescued, but where's the fun in that?
I would agree. There's not much fun in killing everyone and being only a survivor.
Pete's
See,
sakes,
he
you
gets it.
bastard. Okay, the 3 of you that are still out in the hall, give me investigate any kind of checks. There's going to be a lot of those. Getting to the bottom of these, yeah, grab something heavy and jump. Yeah, you're in the ocean. Precisely.
So I'm perceptive.
Yep, give us 3.
+3.
Okay.
Perceptive
I got
eyes
one
all over the
success.
place. 1 success, okay.
1
1
success.
success, all right. And Perky? Abigail, would you like a roll? You're out in the hall still, right? Oh, have we lost an Abigail?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to remember. I'm Abigail. Right.
Yes.
Um.
Oh, the
Been
terror
there.
of a one-shot, yes. What's my name? Shit, is that me?
I think I'm just gonna do a regular test. Just Abigail is specifically gonna look at all the mechanical areas of the ship. So like the
Okay.
engine or like the
Yep.
the wheelhouse.
Yep. I'll give you the stuff that's closest to here. So yeah, give me your roll and we'll see. 1 success. Perfect. All right. So let's do this backwards then. Abigail, you start looking around for things. What I mentioned before, the doors here. So this one, and the one at the back of the boat here. Those should normally dog shut automatically, and both of them are open. You sort of have a quick look at both of them. They've been opened like really hard to the point where their hinges are broken in the open position.
Okay.
Dedra and just Dedra. What happened? Oh yeah, no, we had 1 success from Jim. Dedra and Jim, you guys find the same thing. There's tiny flakes as you're moving around up and down this hallway. They get thicker the more you get to the front. There's tiny flakes of glass, sand, and bits of plastic, forming a grit that is thicker the more forward you go. I guess I should probably also mention this big area here. You guys are 1 deck below the surface, right? There's the deck above, and then you guys are 1 deck below that. But this section up here that you've kind of stepped into a couple of times now is open on both sides. It's like the side of the ship is made of panels, and they slide open, and they've been like that every night when you guys are partying in the calm water. So while you've got a deck over your head, you've also got both sides of the boat are open here. Does that make sense? It's like like an underworld. Yeah, okay.
Like a patio door kind of.
Yeah, and that area there has got the thickest of that glass, sand, and plastic grit. Out of you 3.
Actually,
Dedra. As you guys are looking around, you have, as you sort of look out those sides, you get this flash image in your head. Terry again, but for you it's the first time, eyes bulging as they reach out towards you, demanding to know what time it is and who's got their compass.
As I kind of come back for it, I'll say under my breath, compass, okay. Turns back to the group. So, like, does anyone remember Terry, like, having, like, a compass or something? Like, I guess we might have got lost, like, last night. Does, like, anyone remember?
There's a compass on the bridge, but that's not the one. Like, he wouldn't ask you where that one was. He knows where that one was, right? He was specifically asking for his compass.
I didn't know he had a compass.
I
All I
didn't
can
know
tell you is
either.
his
I
moral
know
compass
he's
is
got
quite
my
out the black.
lawnmower.
I couldn't hear that.
God.
What did he say?
A lot.
Lawnmower.
And for the rest of the night, I'm going to see his character from here up looking over a fence. That's
Oh boy.
Okay. So, yes.
Jim's actually going to head down to this little spot down here. You said that this door was open.
Yes. Perfect. One of you in each of those places. Dedra and Jim. The 2, and then Abigail's going there. Perfect. So the 2 of you that are still in the room, what are you doing? The other ones, you hear them sort of walking around the ship behind you.
Can I just want to do like a basic sweep of the room and the body just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Absolutely. Give me 3 dice with an advantage.
3 dice.
A
One-
success.
A success.
Yeah, that's the one. The choke mark, as you're sort of looking around and putting 3 and 9 together, you as you're putting these things together, you realize that choke mark around his neck and the broken necklace that you picked up match. He was choked with that necklace before it broke.
Okay. Okay.
I don't have my glasses on. I can see stuff better at this range, but it's still not perfect. So I looked down and I saw creep sheep. Yeah, cheap. Tell us what you're doing.
Noticing that everybody's still on this floor.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at the blood splatter and kind of look up to see if there might have been a fall.
Okay. So the two of you are
And if there was, he's going to to see if there was anything up there. He's going to jump up about where the blood splatter ends and try to get up onto the deck above.
It's there's a roof here. You'd have to actually go this little passageway that you just went past, just here. This little hallway goes down to 2 ladders. One of them goes up and one of them goes down. So you'd have to do that to get up on the top deck because there's a whole deck above.
And we
you.
shall do that to see what the top deck has.
But there would be no way for them to fall from there because it's solid. There wouldn't be no way for them to fall through it if that's what you were trying to figure out.
Yeah, there may still be clues in the upper deck.
There absolutely could be. So you
The
go.
first thought was maybe falling.
All right. So 2 of you going that way. You're going that way. And Tequila, where are you going? You're the only one I don't know.
I'm going.
Is your middle name Sunrise? No.
I was waiting for that.
That's what your mom called you when you were little.
Sure.
All right, my little Tequila Sunrise, go get mommy a drink.
Why do you think she's got a flask? I'm going to. Can I check this? Like, what's over here?
Absolutely, you can. So you head across there. So the 2.5 of you, because you walk all the way across it, the other 2 of you are sort of stopped in this front area. So we're going to do that one first. Last night, you remember, this place was decked out in what passed for Tahitian barbecue. You know, the tiki torches and that were real because this is 1966 and there's no safety. There was a heavy trestle table with matching benches to give you that sort of barbecue feel. There was a portable bar and a mini fridge full of beer and rum and mixers. There was a little record player and speakers on wheels in the corner. Behind a screen of plastic greenery to hide it away. The table had food on it from one to the other. You guys remember eating for hours and there was still more left than you could have touched. And all of it is gone. And I mean all of it. Everything. There's not a fork left. That
like
table,
vanished, gone, or like obliterated, gone?
like we're going to do some investigation checks in a second to answer that. But that table, just for an example, took all of you to move it. When you guys brought it out of the boat, it took all 6 of you, including Terry, to drag that bloody great thing on here. The only things you can see in here now are a blood trail and that glassy, glittery, gritty sand. But there is evidence to be searched for. Meanwhile, we're going to go to the back deck. Jim, the next door neighbor, it all makes sense now. Can they even see you? Yeah, they can. Okay, just even less than we can.
Oh, I get it.
On the back deck, Jim. Where's my notes? This is the lower fantail. All right, so this is where the shark cage was. And all the strappings that held it in place, and there was a locker here that had spear guns in it. The shark cage is gone, and all the strapping that held it to the back of the boat, you can see it's been torn out.
Holy shit.
All those plugs are torn out and blown away. The lid of the locker that the spear guns were in is ripped off and gone. Same thing. Inside there are still both spear guns and 20 spears because they were strapped in there. There's more of that glass shards and grit mix out here.
Glass shards and grit, like
That grit. Like it's just
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
really fine glass. Yeah.
and it's not like blown out car window glass. It's like
Nope.
tiny shards.
It's, seeing as how you're the first one to ask, you get really close and look, it's more like filaments, like tiny strands of glass, just little, like sand size, but
Okay.
it's not pebbles, it's like little strings.
Like pulverized fiberglass.
Kind of, but real glass. Like when you crunch it underfoot, it makes the crunch, crunch, crunch sound of glass.
That is weird. I'm just gonna, I guess, investigate and see if I can find more in this area. Just looking for clues, kind of just sort of some kind of mostly curious about this weird plasticky grit shit.
Yep. Okay. Cheap, you climb the ladder up to the hatch and you turn the thing and you push and it kind of, you have to push it a couple times and then when it opens, there's a cracking sound like breaking plastic. And you look up and speaking of broken fiberglass, little bits of fiberglass shower down underneath the pink stuff, like the actual strands of it.
Relation.
You push the door open and we're going to cut away from you because that's kind of there's a big reveal moment there. So, Tequila, you got all the way to that front room. That room's really quick, so we're just going to cover it. It is storage. This is where the all the food and everything else was. So everything in here that you didn't take out is still in here, but mostly it's like empty fridges right now. The last couple plates and saucers and stuff that you guys didn't use last night. But
there
you had to
anything I can
open a
snack
door to
on?
get in here, right? Before you came in. So,
Is there anything I can snack on?
yes, there are some digestible cookies. Digestives?
Sure.
Yeah. You're lucky. You find both kinds, chocolated and unchocolated. So, how
Chocolated.
hungover are you? Okay, it's not that hungover. Yeah, I got you. I know, sugar. Yeah. So,
I mean, I was drinking quite heavily, but I'm not really hungover.
no, of course not. Nobody ever is. Just ask them. But so with that, we're going to cut back to Dedra. Give me a investigate any kind of check, please, as you poke around. Yeah, we're here. Okay.
Nope, no successes. 2, 2,
No
4.
successes. All you actually find, I mean, you look around, you find stuff. It doesn't make that never made any sense to me. You failed your roll. You find nothing. You find stuff. You just find the really basic stuff, the obvious stuff. There are fairly small, but when you start looking for them, noticeable scuff marks in the sand and the grit and stuff. Sorry, there's somebody that's yelling stuff. I don't know what they're going on. But they show that everything was pushed off the port side of the boat into the water. So pushed off this side into the
Okay, so I'm
water.
Yeah, I'll exit and go over to the side and look over.
Okay. I'm going to stop you right there, too, because you're going to find something else as well. Where'd you go? Oh, okay, you went to the back? Okay, so the two of you at the back, give me looking around rolls, please. Abigail just keeps wandering up and down the ship. I was like, where are you going?
I've been waiting. You've been bounced to multiple people. I've just been sitting here waiting.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Abigail is more curious about this grit material.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to kneel down. They're going to dig into a pocket that they have on their dress to pull out like a tissue.
Yeah.
To scoop it up and kind of really look at it.
Mm-hmm.
She might. I think she might actually have a better idea what this might be.
Okay. Give me an investigation check and investigation roll and your guess or your idea.
I am using educated.
Yes, you are.
So I have advantage.
Of course, one is there. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Too educated.
Too educated, yeah.
Too much info in my brain.
The solution's too stupid for you.
You know what? Again, you get something. You always get something. You didn't find nothing, right? You didn't walk around for
Yeah, that's
10 minutes and find nothing. It's what I would suggest in this case you find that's interesting isn't that the glass is, it's weird how it got in that form, but it's glass. It's recognizable. These little tiny plasticky bits are weird. You don't know what it is, but they're mostly, when you get real close and look, they're tiny black balls of melted. When you sniff them, you get that burning plastic smell, that old school plastic, because it's 1966. Yeah.
That nice toxic smell.
Oh, it's bad. Yep.
You just got cancer.
Speaking of that, Dedra and Cheap at this point, and yeah, that's it from where you guys are standing. The two of you, as you sort of get out and look, one of you climbs up onto the top of the ship, the other one sort of looks out the side and up and down the side of the ship. Actually, no, Dedra wouldn't notice this, the side that you're on. So Cheap, you finally break that door open and climb up through it, and the whole top of the boat has been peeled. Like that shiny fiberglass finish that you get on boat decks. It's gone. And the whole surface is that sort of almost pink fiberglass, but you can see the fibers. So you can see the form of the whole boat where it was cast. But that whole skin, that whole marine-friendly skin has been peeled off. And there's just this sort of pink spaghetti, tiny stuff blowing in the light breeze, breaking off from time to time. You notice that the port side of the ship, the side that you're closest to, if you look over the edge, that side's not damaged. But you look the other way, and neither is this side of the bridge that's sticking up above you. But if you were to peek around the corner, this side is. So whatever did this hit from the starboard side of the ship.
So it's like a starboard side sandstorm, basically.
Yes. Precisely.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing the damage, I'm going to kind of think about like the stuff we were stepping on, like below deck.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thinking that might be related to the missing coating.
So, what was the? What are you trying to conclude?
Is the missing marine finish?
Yeah.
At the very least, part of like the glass fibers under below deck.
Ah, got you. I'll give you that for free. No, not to any significant extent. There might have been one or two fibers here and there, but they are neither the glass nor the plastic that we talked about in the grid. If that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Okay. Cool.
But now I'm very interested in the kind of the dividing line between what has finished and what doesn't. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Yes. Yep. I even took some physics into account on this. I'm interested to see how you take it. But Dedra, you step to that open side and look out. Way off in the distance, there's some stuff floating. May or may not be your stuff, but just like it's way off on the horizon. But closer than that, you get this sort of tingle. And then, where is it? Yes, there you go. You have a flashback again. It's this is your one. You're on the foredeck of the yacht. This is where you were last night. But you remember holding on to the wall, looking over the calm ocean and trying to relax and focus and slow your breathing. You watch as the sea around you starts to boil and foam, and the sky fills with screaming faces. And then it's gone. How do you respond to that?
She's gonna take a moment, put the persona back on that she's kind of been keeping up while
Mhm.
around these people. And she's going to start looking in everyone's rooms because she's trying to see if somebody has something that they may have been drugged with.
Oh wow. Okay, so you head back in there. Okay, so you head searching for the room. So you want to find out who did this to you. You figured out you've been drugged, but you want to find out who's doing it to you. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. On the back of the boat, the two of you back there. Perceptify for me if you wouldn't mind. Lingering arch. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
He's a friend
Hi.
of mine.
Hi.
That's a friend of mine.
1 and a 2.
Wow, a whole bunch of no.
Wouldn't
Yeah, all
mind
you
if-
notice is that the damage. Well, I'll give you this much. I mean, cleats were torn out of the side of the boat. A lid was torn off of a built-in sort of one of those bench storage places. There was massive. The door is slammed open. There was massive wrenching force. What I will also give you, even with a bunch of fails, is that you now notice that if you sort of look around the side of the fantail and down the side of the boat, it's gone too. All the finish is gone from there too, all the way down to the water line. Below that, you can still see it. So this whole side of the boat's got this sort of pale pink fiber in all directions, kind of blowing in this little tiny wind. It's only at this point that you hear the sound of seagulls. Because it seemed kind of creepy.
This far out, yeah, it'd be a little weird.
Fucking
It's very
rats.
convenient that none of us smoke.
Hi,
Rats
chicken.
with wings.
Nothing is by
No, that's
accident,
pigeons.
accident,
That too.
nothing
They're
is by
both. They both
accident.
are.
Wharf turkey.
These are just rats with wings on the sea.
Work turkeys.
There's always that one that looks super grumpy.
Yes.
You mean all of them?
Yeah.
There's only one. They cloned them.
Yeah, because we all know birds aren't real.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Along with
Saint Elon said so. Oops, that's it. I'm banned. Fuck that. I'll buy a blue check mark tomorrow. I'll be fine. $8 to be Elon. That's all it costs. $8 and we can all be Elon.
Yeah, right.
Let's get back to
anymore.
this.
I'm going back to Tumblr.
Let's go back to this. So, the two of you standing back there, you see that. What is there a response to that?
Just a little concerned. At this point, Jim realizes that we're kind of dead in the water. He's like, "Wait a minute, we should be here in the boat, eh? Do you remember the way down to the engine room?"
Absolutely.
For anybody that wasn't paying
He
attention.
heads his way over there.
So the two of you come back in, and Dedra's going through your shit. Is that what we're gonna find?
Oh, wow.
What the fuck, eh?
Abigail's gonna duck into her room real quick.
Yeah.
When she gets caught, like I'm like so sorry. I think I'm still a little bit like messed up. Like, which room am I in again?
Oh.
Just making sure you didn't find the bag labeled oregano, right?
There's a bag rat. Like, can you like show me?
No.
You're such a party killer.
That's why you're not supposed to know about the bag.
Fine. And she'll slink out of that room and into somebody else's.
And
Still
just immediately
looking
into
for it.
somebody else's. Okay. Up on the top deck. I want to finish the description first. Cheap, you're up there by yourself in the middle of the ocean. Like they're all below you, at least one deck. The metal railings up here have all been pushed flat towards the port side of the boat. Now that you start to look around, that finish has gone off the entire deck. The all-around glass windows on the bridge just above you are all blown out, shattered flush with the frames. All the rigging, radio mast, and flagpole up here are all gone, leaving only stumps protruding from the flapping pink strands of stripped decking. What do you do?
I am torn between seeing how high the water line appeared to have risen on the port side and going into the captain's into the mast. I'm torn.
Okay. Between the bridge and
The
Well, I
bridge
mean-
seems more interesting than seeing if water went higher than it normally does.
absolutely.
Also, I need to go find Captain, so I probably need to figure out what happened to him.
Well, there was no captain. It's just you guys.
Oh, just bridge?
Yeah.
Empty bridge. Okay.
That's where you're headed.
I mean, I'm still gonna go check out bridge.
You still. So you walk down this. It's kind of strange because you're walking down this side of the bridge isn't damaged, so it's got that sort of fiberglassy finish to it. And then you come around the back where it's one of those. It's open, but there's a door, and then you step through into the bridge, climb up a ladder into the bridge. The second you pull yourself up onto the bridge, you have your flashback moment. Because you were up here. And there's a flash way off in the distance on the horizon. Beautiful and stark in the middle of the darkness.
Oh,
After the flash, though, a glowing mushroom of light and lightning. You see what Oppenheimer called the gods. You see the tortured air moving towards you as it ripples the water and the sky. All limned by blues and greens and reds and yellows, you turn to flee and it ends.
so that's why I'm not blind.
It's off to the starboard side of the ship. It's the last thing you remember. You also remember where you were, which is up here when it went off.
Yes, because up here I am above all. Interesting. So I take it there's no flashy things. Everything looks kind of dead up here, I take it.
Everything is, all the electronics are shot. Yeah, this ship is electronically dead. Lamp Wilson. Once in a while he floats up the side of his picture and then slowly settles back to the So, what do you do with that information? Everybody that gets a flashback gets a question.
I do remember it being extremely warm, so that would explain why there's no sign of everything but the insulation be fine.
You saw that shockwave coming. That would certainly have ripped the clothes off of anybody who was exposed when it hit.
But why was he shot, stabbed, and strangled? I guess now I have to ask the question, was he killed first and then exploded? So I guess I got to go back to me. Got to go find me a body and see how cooked it is.
Took precisely 1 hour to figure out what the real question was. So you head back.
One of the ways he died.
You start heading back downstairs. Okay. So back to the rest of you. We still got tequila way up at the front. You must have done something by then. Do something.
Yeah.
Stop drinking in the front by yourself. Pull yourself together.
I realize that I'm probably very underprepared for I mean, clearly something weird has happened because Terry turned into a frog.
Yep. And one
Last
eye
night?
blinked, and the other eye, he licked the other eye, and then he smiled and he disappeared. But he didn't do any of that
Yeah.
until after he threw up.
So I am going to go back to my room to get some stuff. And I find Dedra
Yes.
in my room.
Yes. Dun 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 dun.
I don't know where she is on the map, but
I'm just in the hallway. I
Yeah.
didn't move myself into any of the rooms because I don't know whose is whose.
Yeah.
okay. I'll put myself right here.
But yeah, this is more fun when you come downstairs and it's like, she's in your room now. We're just gonna we're gonna do to
say-
Dedra what you should do to every pushy bard ever. You just say, "Hey, what are you doing in here? Hey, what are you doing in here? What are you doing in here? Explain yourself."
I'm gonna see her in my room, and I'm gonna kind of just lean in the doorway and be like, "What you doing?"
So, like, I think I'm still like on something. Like, am I in the wrong room?
Honey, that's a really, really bad disguise. You're not hungover.
As Abigail passes tequila, they're gonna hand you something.
No, chat, don't. By the way, I'll get kicked off of Twitch. Nope.
You're handing. Who are you handing?
I'm handing you something.
Oh, okay. I take it.
It's gonna blow. No, sorry.
It's a long-handled screwdriver. Good luck figuring that one out.
I nod, in appreciation, and then I go back to focusing on Dedra. I'm gonna say, "Honey, I can see right through your shit."
Looks around. No one else has.
Because no one else is me.
Listen, somebody drugged us last night. I'm just trying to figure out who has it.
Well, it wasn't me. And then I'm gonna go into and this is purely for flavor, just to
Yep.
establish my character.
Hey.
I'm going to go into like my bags.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out a little what are those little tiny guns called?
Derringer.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out a little Derringer, put it in a hip holster. On the other leg, not the one with the flask.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna grab a couple more, like, just various small, dainty, dangerous things.
Yep. Yes.
And equip them in various spots on my body. Like,
Absolutely. Yes.
one
Yeah.
is like something in my hair, and then one is like an accessory on my.
Yeah. Well, you got the big bun thing going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
which justifies having a 9-inch hairpin.
Darning
up there.
needle.
Yeah, with a knurled
Exactly.
handle for good gription. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I go back.
Men have been pigs for a long time. I get it.
And then this whole time I've been kind of like keeping an eye on Dedra and making sure that I can block her exit
Okay.
if I need to.
All right.
And then I'm going to stand back in the door. And I'm going to say, "How did you know him?"
Went to university together. He multiple times would come to my protest and counter protest for fun.
I mean, that sounds about right. But I'd like to make. I have insight. So can I make a check?
I always ask. Is it okay?
That is
Dedra?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wilma.
That's one success.
God damn it, Wilma.
Yeah, one success. So, but you're telling the truth?
This is the first time you've seen her being honest the entire time. Every other
Damn.
time you've seen her, it is that ditzy
Yeah. Wow.
act she's putting on.
A team is born.
So much trust.
Sorry, I just read chat. Okay, to be clear, did Abigail hand tequila a tool or a drink?
A tool. Because I
Yes.
like.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yes.
I said it was a long-handled screwdriver.
Yes.
Yeah, which
Yes.
is, I was like, I don't think a drink is long handled.
Unless it's in a long-handled drink.
Yeah.
Like
glass.
the martini
Yeah.
glass, yeah. No, it was legitimately just a Phillips screwdriver.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I saw the opportunity.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay.
The screwdriver.
So I'm just gonna pocket that screwdriver like in my little pistol holster too.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna look at Dedra. I'm gonna say, so I'm guessing you weren't friends.
Not exactly.
Why'd you come here then?
He said he wanted to make up. You know, fix the mistakes of the past.
Sounds like a load of bullshit.
That's
you
what I
know.
thought too. But he said it was going to be a party, so I
Yeah,
decided
free
to
party.
hear him out.
Yeah. Well, I won't out you if you don't want me to, but
That would be great. It's much easier to look through everyone's rooms when they think you're kind of not that smart.
yeah. I kind of just want to see how long it takes them to figure it out.
I mean, it could be fun.
Okay. But if you get on my bad side, which you don't want.
I think we're on the same team here. Him showing up dead doesn't exactly help or make me look exactly that great.
Doesn't make any of us look great. Which is
Sure.
why I don't trust anybody right now.
Do you want to help me out? I'm going to go look in that cheap human's room, and they kind of scare me.
Been called many things. Cheap human is not one of them.
Because he's actually in Terry's room right now. So yeah, he kind of came down behind you guys as you were having your tat-tat-tat. And he's now standing in Terry's room. I like this. No, almost everybody's in on this shit. Except for the poor innocent Canadian in the basement. So let's go to him. Jim, you were going downstairs, right?
Yep.
All
Check
right.
on the end.
So you're going to the guts of the ship.
I'm going with them.
And you're going with him. All right, the two of you, I'm going to move you over to the thing, there. That's one of you. That's the other one of you. There we go. So you guys are in this area here. The pretty ends at the deck. It is all business down here. You can see bare fiberglass wiring harnesses, metal girders, light bulbs and cages, but none of them are lit. It's pretty much completely dark under here, except for that little bit of light that's coming through the hole from above. It's enough to see that there are 2 portholes on each side of the ship. The ones that are just behind you on the port wall are allowing in a small amount of light. You can see through them. The 2 on the other side look like frosted glass. Like they're just glazed. You can't see anything through them at all. Just in front of you here, yeah, you can see this is the electrical room. To the north is the to the north is just an open storage area, and to the back of the room through here, you guys know from previous experience, is the engine room.
Okay. When Jim went into his room, he grabbed a red toolbox
and a vodka and orange in a glass, and ironically went down the stairs. No, sorry, what?
I have no regrets.
I didn't have no regrets.
In the meantime,
no regrets or no memories. Both works. Sorry, what was that? You were going to say something.
He's thinking, well, we're not going to get this boat moving if the engine's not working, And in order to get the engine working, we need to get the lights on because I ain't going to see shit in this thing.
Yes.
He's got a pocket torch, the one that sits in a pocket, and 90 degree out.
Yeah. Perfect. And as you open the door to it's like one of those little slidey doors to the electrical room, you see first thing on the wall is 3 flashlights clipped there.
Well, that would have made it easy, but
Actually, you push the buttons on them and none of them work.
Oh.
Oh man, do we have to go to fetch quest for batteries?
This is also, you shake them, there's batteries in them. There's
Hmm.
also a ton of cobwebs in here. Nobody's been in here in months. Like, it's just full of cobwebs. There's also the
Ugh.
faint odor of melted rubber and burnt metal.
Oh, that's not good. Because he's remembering that from his
Yep.
apprentice days.
Yep.
There's always one apprentice who blows a fuse box.
Yep, give me your roll. With advantage, because you got an idea of what you're looking for. And then Abigail, where are you going? I see you're headed towards the engine room.
Abigail was joining him. She has a fanny pack on,
Okay.
and
Mm.
she also has a bag over her shoulder that rattles with tools.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. All right. So yeah. Handy Abby shows up behind you. But you realize a couple things. There's a generator in here, an actual like a little pull start generator. But you can see that the not just the plug itself, but the spark plug wire right where it joins the spark plug is actually melted. The gap between the anode and the cathode of the actual spark plug itself is filled with melted metal. There's not heat. You realize heat wouldn't have done this. This was an
Overload.
electromagnetic pulse.
Well, he wouldn't
Right,
know
the
that.
electronics.
He would see an overloaded fuse. or
Yeah,
overload.
exactly. A blown. Yeah, every wire is makes sense now. The batteries are dead. It's something overloaded all of this and melted it. You also realize that you're very lucky that the spark that must have happened didn't ignite these cobwebs.
Yeah.
And the
But he's
fiberglass
also
hull.
he's pretty surprised his torch works, but then again,
Yep. It was on you.
yeah.
Mhm.
Somehow that's
You
important.
shielded it.
I shielded.
Yeah, don't worry about the radiation.
Electromagnetic.
This story doesn't go that long.
So, he's kind of just talking out loud because he
Mhm.
knows that she's nearby.
Yeah.
So this whole fuse box is like completely fried, eh? I couldn't get this thing started with, federal grant money.
Spoken like a true Canadian. Is there a grant for that? Of course there is. Just have to look it up. Rosie
This-
Riveter.
this
That's
is-
exactly. That's what I was looking for. I knew it. Yep. The whole thing is
Rosie.
there. Yeah.
When you look back at
yeah.
Abigail, they have actually like pulled their hair back into a bun,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
they have taken off their necklace.
Yep.
They don't really have very much jewelry, but they look like they're ready to get to work. And then this is the point where you notice that she's actually physically strong.
Yep. Standing there like those tools make sense. Like you know how to use them.
She's a farm girl.
Absolutely. Where, farm girl, are you going?
Into the engine room.
All right. Perfect. You open that
because-
door. Yep.
Because I am who I am, she's going to take out a tool and wave it in front of her in case there's any cobwebs.
Spiders and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, nope, nope, nope.
You
nope.
open this door though, and it is the exact opposite of the engineer of that little area. It is spotless. There's no oil. There's no smells. This is beautiful space. There's also 2 giant, ornate brass and polished steel inline 6-cylinder machine engines that take up about 90% of the space in this room. It's so cramped that only 2 people could squeeze in between here, and you wouldn't want to be in here when they were running. The walls are covered in insulation for sound and heat. The blued chrome exhaust fills every available space at the back of the boat. These are hand-built. These are works of love, works of art. This is not just a motor. This is a thing of beauty.
Abigail looks a little furious at this. She's going to go. She's going to go over to one side, lean over, and see if there's like a specific S-curved pipe that should go from the top of the engine to the bottom and back of
Yep.
the engine.
Yep.
Is that there?
Yes.
Oh, she's furious.
You also see a small tag, a little brass plaque on the side of one of them, and you see there's one on the other one too. And you lean down, and it says, "Designed and built by Terry Martin, number 1 of 1, 1965." Oh, sorry, 1 of 2, 1965, and the other one says 2 of 2, 1965.
She's just gonna start mumbling curses to herself.
I love this.
You see Jim from the arch of the doorway. Oh, I can't help you with your truck there, Jim. I don't know anything about engines. He just starts cursing.
Out loud or sort of
Oh,
politely?
definitely out loud.
Oh, okay. As you step into this room, you get a flashback. You can see a pair of lips moving, but there's no words. You can't hear. There's only a high-pitched whine on about 5 different frequencies at once that mess with your equilibrium. They're trying to clear. You're trying to clear the noise from your head, and you shake it, and that was a mistake. Your balance is gone, and you fall. You know you're screaming, but you can't hear that either. You were here when it happened.
Oh, whoa, what the shit, eh? Hey, Abby, that was your name, right? Do you remember anything from last night? Cause I just did, and I don't know what the shit, eh?
I remember a few things from last night. She says, like, you see her like take out a wrench and she's like raising over the engine like she really wants to hit this. I know the food was good. Drinks are good. My little friends helped me out to tolerate it.
Your little friends?
She's gonna look at you, reach in her fanny pack, pull something out, and pop it in her mouth.
Oh, right. I remember Terry telling me about you. You like the fun drugs. You're one of them. Go-go, or what's he say? One of them hippy dippy types.
Excuse me, Colin.
I just drink more.
Which is the Canadian mating call.
Canadian mating ritual. Oh no, I can hear.
I have
Big
drunk
Mac
more
Burrow
than
now.
all the others, therefore I am deserving of a harem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that works.
I'm taking you home because nobody else can stand.
Meanwhile, let's class this up a bit. Yeah, like back in Terry's room. Because Cheap, you went back there to try and figure out what the hell, right? How does this guy killed 4 different times, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I knew he was resilient, but this is a little much.
Yep. Give me some roll with advantage. Give me a roll with advantage. Because you kind of got an idea what's up, so. Six and a 5. That'll work. You find out a couple of things as you go back in there.
I mean, I guess at one point he does also pull out his cubic zirconium butterfly knife just to check, just to see if maybe he did one of these.
Nope, doesn't appear to be any blood on it. Or on you. There's no cut marks, no defensive wounds. Yeah.
I will not tell the others, but this is mildly disappointing. Moving on to the rest of forensics.
So you go back and start searching the body.
Okay, the claws were the kaboom.
Yeah, so that was the explosion. Yep. What were the other 3?
That did that. Looking at the neck, definitely more. I think I might see like there's 2 print, so that is hands.
Well, the throat actually was the you
Or-
figured that out. That's actually the
Oh,
necklace.
it was necklace.
Yeah,
Right.
that was
that
the
was stolen
necklace.
necklace.
So you could see the pattern of the necklace. If you look real close, you can see the pattern of the necklace in there. Then
The
there's
stolen
the
necklace was choke. Okay.
yeah. Then there was the green foam on the mouth.
Green foam.
You kind of look at that, and maybe it doesn't make a whole
Green
lot of sense
purple.
by itself. But as you sort of roll the body up, you hear tink, 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 tink on the
Oh.
on the deck, and this little vial rolls out,
That's a lot.
and it's got a little paper label on it, and it says Terry, no more than 3 drops each. Seriously. This vial contains 30 drops. And you look in there and it's like there's only a quarter of it left.
This is why I listened to my barkeep.
He massively overdosed you all. But it's not just LSD. There's some other stuff in there. And you know Terry enough to know that if he gave all of you 3, he took 6. So that
Well,
might
bad
explain
news is,
that.
if I think it might have been what we ran into. I will do a final investigation on knife, and then I will approach group with a.
Yeah.
Oh, you said there was shot. I thought he was slit.
There was the throat. We still got 2 left. Yeah, the throat is multiply stabbed. And as you start looking in there, you see pieces of green glass deeply embedded in the holes.
Oh, he was standing too close to glass when that kaboom.
A wine bottle or a green glass window or something is what hit him here and stabbed him multiple times in the throat. Then there's that. The round
There's
hole in
what
his
should have
forehead.
been lethal.
Yes.
I guess there's definitely. Believe you said there was exit wound, correct?
Oh yeah, the whole back of the head.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Just making sure it wasn't one of those. Okay, Sidley managed to miss with a shot to the head. What they use, like the tiniest pistol in the universe.
Well, that's the thing is you get close and look, and it's not a perfect circle. There's a little bump on one side.
Did
How many
man get
successes did you
shrapnel?
get? You got 6
Cool.
or 5. I'm going to give you this. There's right around the bump. There's some silver. It's almost like flaking, like metal. And as unlikely as nasty as it is, you kind of look around the back, and in the exit wound area, ink.
Man was shot with a pen.
You remember he has this pen that he always carries, this fancy silver fountain pen that he's always got. And
Oh, yes, this is
somehow
what
he
he
was
signed my
using it
property
last
forms
night. He
with.
was drawing with it last night on the table. He must have left it on the table and in the explosion shot with his own pen.
Okay. I'm going to head to table direction.
Okay.
And also look over, see somebody in the room, and just continue on.
If I see that he sees that we're in the room,
Yeah,
can I go to him?
sure. Yeah.
Oh, you can go to cheap all you would like.
You dare to approach me?
On this tiny boat.
So I'm gonna go to. I'm assuming this is cheap.
Yep.
This is
Again, I'm gonna sort of position myself in a way where like I could stop him if I wanted to.
you want to stop the cheap, I doubt it, but also moving on.
I don't want to stop the cheap.
It is nice of you to try.
This is a challenge.
I want to see you try.
I mean, I'm doing the same sort of posturing as I did with Dedra, where I'm just like confident and giving off an air like you really don't want to mess with me.
Mhm.
But
I give off air like I very much want to mess with you, but I will respect your space for the time being.
and I can tell that, and I respect that too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, see, you're interesting because you figure things out. You wouldn't have gone back to that body and stayed so long if you hadn't seen things. So what did you see?
I saw the mushroom of the gods off starboard.
Just I'm going to call a quick time out here because this
Please.
seems like a time where we should have everybody come together. Does that work for everybody? You guys come up from downstairs?
Yeah.
Hans, you're muted.
I know, I'm typing.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh.
talking, but the typing
pick-
got
my-
picked up on your mic.
The program picks up my mic. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm talking.
Right.
Yeah, I'll if I can't see any way to get the engines to kick back on,
Oh,
I'll
you
go
can.
back up with
Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay. So yes, you see there is it's kind of an odd mechanism attached to the end of one of the engines. It's essentially a spring. There's no way you could turn over these engines by hand. Like you can't Model T thing, right? It's not going to work at these kind of compressions. However, this is basically you're not trying to start the motor, you're winding this spring. You're creating tension on this spring, and by winding and winding and winding and winding, and then when you hit the button, the spring acts as a starter instead of an electric starter. Because they're diesels, they don't need spark. They will go. You can literally wind them up and get them started.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
So you start. Jim, where are you going?
I was actually wondering what was in this room up here.
You step forward and look. It's basically empty space and ballast.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess after this point, it's like looks to Abby. So if we need to like get out of here, because we're probably gonna have to get out of here, we can get these engines going, eh?
Yes, sir. And she's working these engines as though she knows how
Yep.
they're designed.
Absolutely. And yeah, you finish. It only takes a couple seconds, and tick, 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 click. And you come to that end of that ratchet feeling that tells you that this is fully charged.
Okay, well,
You still have no
That's
idea
some-
where you are,
yeah.
but yeah.
So there's nothing up at the bow. So maybe we should find out what everybody else is up to and see what maybe they figured out what happened to Jared.
That'd be a great idea.
I'm just gonna
Boink.
pull everybody over here into the big sort of space. Whether that's where you're standing or not, I just want you guys all sort of close together. So as you gather again, Terry lies dead down in the hall, stiffening for the second time because it's been a while. What? I guess this is the time. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. But what do you think happened? You all picked up different bits of evidence. You tell me what happened last night.
Chief's got most of it. I mean, the most me and Abigail picked up is that
Well, don't worry about that. I'm going to assume that you guys just sat around and had a chat.
okay.
Like you brought cushions out from and sat in this open area and sat around and sort of put. I'm not going to make you role play telling each other all the shit that you already know. So yeah, well, consider that you have all shared all the information.
There's also the bottle.
Yes,
That was
of
definitely
drugs.
shown.
Yeah. So yeah, you shared everything. This is second rigor mortis. That's right.
mean-
Because I vaguely remember there's one and then they go squishy and then never mind. That's enough of that.
Do we tell Danger what they found, or we're going to move on?
Here's what we know.
So yes, I'm going to assume that everybody shared everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Good help.
now, yes, the 5 of you float in the middle of the South Pacific. Not an island or anything in sight.
Here's what we know. 5 strangers on a boat with ambiguous connections to the victim, which I'll come back to that. There was some sort of actual explosion, as evidenced by the wreckage of the ship. And it would appear we were all on a collective trip. Now, Chris can't remember words.
Explosion
in the
likely dealt with
interest
most of
of in the interest of cooperation, I'm going to suggest this. No lies, no fronts, no facades. How do we all know this person? How do we all know Terry?
Terry's like my next door neighbor, eh? He keeps borrowing my tools. And when he brings them back, there's no gas in the mower, my snow shovel, the blade's all chipped. I mean, this guy, he just doesn't take care of my stuff. He's a friggin' jerk is what he is. And he doesn't pay his poker debts. He owes me $150 and like 3 cases of beer.
As you float around
Ow.
on his multi-million-dollar yacht. Yeah. Ouch.
Pain. And then I turn to Abigail. I'm going to say, how about you, hon?
I dated him once. And when he left, he stole all mine and my granddaddy's designs. She like knocks on the boat. The engine powering this was mine.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh shit, you're Spitfire?
She's gonna turn a little pink.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Mr. Strange Russian Man?
He was extremely helpful in helping me get my business, which you may know as cheapskates. So I offered one night, okay. So it's extremely great barkeep. Make sure you tip him very well. Moving on. So he assisted me in getting my operation, at the very least, the land figure, then a handful of the design things. That was a little more than I can handle sometimes. Anyway, moving on. So I offered to give him, a night he would never forget, and he ran. So I have chased him ever since. And he said, here's an invitation. I have boat over here. And I say, I can finally track this man down.
So you are bent on revenge then?
No, I'm bent on a good time.
And what do you consider a good time? Killing him?
It is very disappointing when it comes to that, but sometimes their constitution are not what I anticipate.
Okay,
You did say honesty.
We're gonna put a pin in that.
Jim slowly moves his cushion away from Cheap.
And you, Miss Dedra, we've talked. Why exactly would you want him dead? Because clearly everyone on this boat wants him dead, if I've gathered correctly.
Oh, she is. God, because she does not want to answer this without putting up that front.
Hmm?
And Tequila's the only one who knows.
Hmm?
Well, like I said before, he ruined multiple of my protests at a time that it was necessary. For what? For fun?
What were you protesting?
The war. Everything they've been doing out here. It's not right.
Oh. Okay. Hey, Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
how do I posit a guess?
You just say it. You guys are literally sitting around. You've shared all the
Okay.
information
Before
with
you
each
Okay.
other.
ask Miss Tequila,
Yeah.
I was-
Ms.
it's
Mockingbird,
not
what are your
like
connections to this,
Colonel Mustard and
deceased
whatever
family?
with the whatever.
No, you don't only get
Good
one
clue.
chance. You don't only get one chance. What I
Okay.
will do is, if your guess is not correct, because this time there is an actual answer. If it's not correct, I will do my best to poke logical holes in it to show you that it's not correct. So you have to keep going.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
mhm.
So we know there's a war and there's things happening out here, as you say. My guess, we got caught, admittedly in the middle of a trip, in the blast of something most likely nuclear. A test or an actual drop, perhaps a Bikini Atoll situation. But that does not explain why my father was garroted with his own necklace.
Dun dun dun.
It was just like this really awkward pause.
Yeah. And this seems like a good moment to point out I didn't know any of these backstories and none of you knew this story, but we have the motor in the basement of the boat that was stolen from one of you. We have the daughter. We know everybody here's backstory works with what happened. And yay. This is good. Keep going. Nuclear explosion,
And
yes.
don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily upset that he's dead, but I didn't kill him.
I think none of us are upset that he's dead. I think we're more upset about the fact that we'll all get the blame.
Admittedly, I'm upset he died because I didn't kill him.
See, I knew you wanted to kill him. You know what? I
I'll be
respect.
exonerated.
I respect.
As long as you're not a bastard like he is, you're fine with me. This accent is going to keep fluctuating.
Yep. It's all good.
Hey
You're-
man,
you're-
no
the
fun
The
doesn't
character's under
realize.
stress.
My dad's from Arkansas. If he hears my accent, he's going to try and correct me.
I think what you meant to say is your daddy's from Arkansas.
Yes,
So anyway, we have 2, if not 3, wounds that can be traced to an explosion, which is
Mhm.
the glass in the neck, unless it was a wine bottle. Wine bottle could have still been exploded in the, gone his direction. But how was he inside? I don't know. He was here when it happened,
He was on an open deck.
but he wasn't blown off like the rest of the furniture.
You were upstairs, protected by the bridge.
I was in the bridge, yes.
Yeah, and the rest of you were either on this level, in these hallways, or downstairs somewhere when the explosion went off. The only one exposed was Terry. He was right by that door. He almost got blown off with everything else, but it's one of those moments where the stuff sort of went through him and then he fell.
Can I actually take a look?
And actually, then he crawled off, and then the actual shockwave, because there's a double front shockwave, right? First one drives the stuff through him. The second one is the one that's going slow enough to push shit off the deck, but he's already crawled off by then. So go.
Is there something that like
I guess Nicholas could have gotten caught on something.
I was literally thinking that.
It got caught in his room on the stool as he was crawling across the floor. He
Yeah.
pulled.
I was
pulled,
gonna say, can I
and
go back to
pulled.
his room?
Yeah.
And see if, because the necklace was found on the stool.
Yep.
So I'm gonna make sure as to basically posit the situation that you just presented.
That is exactly it. You go in there, and that stool fell and jammed when the explosion hit. When he crawled in here, he couldn't. He was almost dead anyway, and he was just trying to. He wasn't processing that he was being choked. He was just trying to get over there, and because the furniture was jammed in the corner, it wouldn't move. And finally, the chain broke just before he died. You're
Well.
getting there.
So
So what are the? No, we have the lacerations. We have the head wounds. He overdosed and dosed us with his pharmaceutical stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or at least that's the current theory.
Yep.
Although I don't believe any of us have attempted to take his pharmaceutical to see what actually happens.
Why don't you? You seem to be the most.
Whoa,
Because I'd rather
hold
not
on,
accidentally
hold on,
kill
hold
you
on.
all.
He has pharmaceuticals.
Yes, this was
He
brought up
dosed
during.
us.
She holds her
evidence.
hand out. Can you please?
I would happily oblige.
Yeah, your hand across. Yeah. I'm going to
So-
give. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
One of my traits is chemist.
Yes, I know. Yes.
I can
Yeah.
I can analyze and study this with
Absolutely.
advantage.
Yeah. You. I'm going to give you Zorpy. Yeah, you. It is a mix based on LSD, very high dose of LSD, but there are a number of other drugs in there designed to work with the hallucinogenic properties to generate certain kinds of hallucinations. So it was a tailored drug designed to get you all messed up.
He drugged us with
And then he
this.
gave you way too much.
He holds it up.
And give
He
himself
gave
way
us
too
this
much.
and gave us way too much.
Is the answer seriously that he killed himself on accident?
I mean, technically, the
Wrong place at the
explosion
wrong
killed
time.
him.
I think
So
so.
who here is responsible for explosions?
Who is responsible for the explosions? We're in the
I
middle
mean,
of
we
a
also
war.
only
Okay,
know
Out of
what
character.
the
I
US
know
and
my
Russia
character
have
has a
designed, or
piece of
USSR.
dynamite behind their back.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Boom is bigger than that one.
You're a chemist. You'd know, yeah, the heat in the blast wave. Now that you've seen the evidence, I mean, this is 1966. There's no, it's not a secret anymore. You guys were way too close, like way too close to a nuclear explosion.
I think it'd be a good
So,
idea if
like-
we find a way to get out of here.
You guys you've got almost all of this explained. Let's go over what you have figured out.
We're missing the pen.
Oh yeah, we have the pen that he was
Yeah.
holding while signing something. We
thought
don't
the-
know what he was signing, or he just liked to play with it. Like I like.
It was just you had been using it earlier in the day and left it on the table.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
that was part of the explosion debris that
yeah,
got him.
Yep.
The throat and that happened. Then he had already thrown up from all the drugs. Yeah, you saw him throwing up, but then your drugs kicked in and you started to hallucinate after he threw up and turned him into a toad. So, yeah. So, if I'm just gonna go over, I think what I think you've got, because I think you're pretty close. Terry invited you all on this trip, and then dosed you last night with way too much drugs. He then drove under the influence himself. He then drove the boat to a location where he could safely watch the atomic bomb test. But he got lost because he couldn't find his compass and ended up getting way too close. All of you managed to, by luck more than anything else, be at least in a gangway when the shock waves hit. Terry did not. He was not that lucky. He was out in that open area. Your clothes were damaged by the blast and the suction of the wind, and in the stunned aftermath, you put on new clothes and threw your old stuff over the side because you thought it might be contaminated.
Right, because that's gonna help.
You know, you panicked, right? You were temporarily deafened, knocked around, and all but knocked out. The acid hampered and helped. It made it all but impossible to process what had happened, so you couldn't respond. But it gave your rattled and thrashed bodies the energy they needed to crawl somewhere safe after that was over. To just reflexively go home and into your bedrooms. Terry was not so lucky. He took more drugs than anybody else, and he didn't react well. He panicked, and at the last moment decided to close the panels on the starboard side of the ship. And as he was heading over there, the shockwave hit. The tables, benches, bars, stereo, all of it missed him, but his fancy fountain pen entered his forehead at twice the speed of sound, and fragments of a shattered wine bottle pierced his throat. His clothes were all but blown off, whilst perversely the crust of dried vomit around his mouth was not. His body hung there for a moment, balanced on the wind and bleeding. He fell, and the jolt shook loose the drugs, and he crawled home to his room where he died after choking his chain on the steps on the way by. A slight more search. You guys find a theodolite and a compass. It's enough. You have to remagnetize the compass, but that's not that hard to do. You get the engine started, and you limp back to Sydney Harbor, where it must be said you make quite an entrance. This boat with its skin peeled off 3/4 of it. The 5 of you looking distraught, exhausted, and by the time you get home, probably tired and dehydrated as well. There's a perfectly reasonable explanation for everything. But as the cops drop the gangplank on the side of the ship and come up, guns drawn and shields out, you realize your adventure has really just begun. But that's where we're going to drop the curtain on tonight.
Abigail made
Now we
extra
have to
sure
go
those
through the legal system.
So
Abigail
Yay.
made extra sure that those tags with his name on the engine were gone.
they're gone by the time you get back. Yeah, I want to.
Toss him in the ocean. He never made these. I
Yeah,
did.
we're also gonna get cancer. I'll get cancer and die.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's 2 episodes from now. That's I'll be 58 by then. So, but yes, thank you all for playing that. It was I wasn't sure if that was going to work, and it did. You figured out what happened. It played out exactly as I had hoped. It looked like it was supposed to look like he got murdered 4 different ways, and it turned out it was none. So you guys had just that right sort of paranoia going on, and the forming teams and all that shit that would happen, right? What innocent people do to protect themselves from charges that they're absolutely innocent of. I love it. That's why I knew it was going to work, because I knew we had great role players tonight. So thank you. That was wonderful. I enjoyed every second of it. Thank you for making my birthday a very, very happy and positive one. I like doing these weird things. There was no fights tonight. Not a single one. 99% of the rolls were look for stuff. Figure stuff out. And what really happened was you guys solved the puzzle. That's what really happened. We spent an hour and 45 minutes solving a puzzle that I made, and I appreciate the hell out of that and the effort. So thank you all. Thank you to Sarah, to Wayward Knight, to Nick, and to Bison_Stonefist, and to Hellhounds20. All of you, great players. You've all been here, with the exception, actually, of, I just realized, the Bison. The rest of you have been here since literally before the beginning. You guys came over here from before. You were in a group. In fact, 2 of you were in a game that was inspired by another. You forgot, didn't you, Sarah? I see that face. You forgot.
I'm actually the young one here.
You are the young. You are the
Holy
only
shit.
one here that is not a founding member of Dirty 20 Gaming.
But he's like almost.
But you are. I mean,
Yeah.
you are. You've made up for it for the
I was
last
in the
time.
first
but yeah,
one shot.
You were
The
the
first one shot.
yeah. You were the
Yeah,
only,
he was literally in
Yep.
Havoc Brigade.
Havoc Brigade.
Yeah.
I almost called it Ogre Patrol.
Yeah, I think yeah. You're the only one that didn't predate Dirty 20 Gaming. You came here right at the beginning. So yeah. But yeah, that's the story, right? This is 5 of the people here that have been here since the beginning's beginning.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I need to fix that.
That's just extra creepy. Yeah, I like that very much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ghost Griffin.
Bad,
In
bad.
the sky. Anyway, so thank you to the 5 of you for coming along and playing this tonight. By the way, nobody ever asked. The Showoff was the name of the ship. So Death of the Showoff was the death of the ship. Not the guy. He was a Showoff, but he wasn't him. It wasn't Terry. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to chat tonight. You guys are amazing. I love you every night, but tonight was extra fun. I had a good time tonight, and it was so good to see you guys all double digits all night. So huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. Thank you. And I only had to kill one of them to get a founder spot. And thank you for all the birthmas wishes and the laps around the sun wishes and all the birthday wishes. I appreciate the hell out of it. I could not imagine a better group of people to spend it with, between the people that are here and the people that are in chat and the people that are going to watch this in future on YouTube. Please hit that like button. Please hit that notification button, because my posting schedule is crap on YouTube. With that, thank you again for all the happy birthdays. This is so cool. I gotta go for a walk in a little bit just to have the feel good blow off me in the wind. But thank you all for this. And until next time, as a personal favor and a gift to me, please be nice to each other. Good night.